The Dallas Cowboys' turbulent 2024 NFL season has been a roller coaster of emotions, with highs like their thrilling Week 12 win over the Washington Commanders and lows such as a crushing 5-game losing streak. The team's standout wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, has been a central figure through it all, battling injuries while continuing to deliver for his team. Despite being physically battered, Lamb showcased his resilience, leading the Cowboys with 10 receptions for 67 yards in their dramatic victory against Washington. Reflecting on the challenging season, Lamb described it as one of the toughest of his career, admitting that injuries have taken a toll but haven't dampened his determination. "I'm banged up. I'm not even going to lie to you, but that's not stopping anything," he said, emphasizing his commitment to helping the team win. Lamb's dedication was evident in Week 11 when he suited up against the Houston Texans despite being a game-time decision. He managed to grab 8 receptions for 93 yards, although the Cowboys suffered a humiliating 34-10 loss, marking their 5th consecutive home defeat and their worst start at AT&T Stadium since 1989. So far, Lamb has amassed 77 catches for 841 yards and 4 touchdowns this season, significantly outpacing his teammates. With 431 more receiving yards than the next closest wideout, Jalen Tolbert, Lamb's importance to the Cowboys' offense cannot be overstated. Yet, his season hasn't been without criticism. After a blowout loss to Houston, Lamb faced backlash for filming a music video at a nightclub with teammate Trayvon Diggs, prompting questions about his focus amid the team's struggles. Off-field controversies aside, Lamb's on-field efforts have been overshadowed by unusual moments, including a missed touchdown catch blamed on the glare from AT&T Stadium's glass design. When Lamb suggested installing curtains to address the issue, owner Jerry Jones dismissed the idea, sparking fan debates about the team's priorities. As Thanksgiving approaches, the Cowboys will look to Lamb and their roster to reclaim their season momentum. Facing the struggling New York Giants, 2-9, Dallas hopes to continue its rich Thanksgiving tradition, boasting a 33-22-1 all-time record on the holiday. Speculation is rife about how the Cowboys will fare in the remainder of the season, with analysts questioning whether their star-studded roster can overcome injuries and inconsistencies to make a playoff push. The team's recent victory may signal a turning point, but with upcoming games against tougher competition, fans and critics alike are left wondering if the Cowboys can reclaim their status as NFC contenders, or if their 2024 season will be remembered for what could have been. The Dallas Cowboys' 2024 season has been riddled with disappointment, leaving fans and analysts speculating about the team's future. Heading into their Week 13 matchup against the struggling New York Giants, the Cowboys sit at 4-7, a record far from the high expectations set before the season began. Hopes for a competitive NFC East campaign were crushed when star quarterback Dak Prescott suffered a season-ending hamstring injury during a Week 9 loss to the Atlanta Falcons. Before his injury, Prescott's performance was underwhelming, with just 1,978 passing yards, 12 total touchdowns, and 8 interceptions over 8 games, paired with a modest 64.7% completion rate. The injury has forced backup Cooper Rush into the spotlight, but the Cowboys' offensive struggles have persisted. Adding to the controversy, former Dallas head coach Jimmy Johnson recently criticized the team's decision to grant Prescott a lucrative 4-year, $240 million contract extension before the season. Speaking on The Herd with Colin Cowherd, Johnson stated, "I would never have given Prescott a new contract. I'd have let him play it out. They're so financially strapped right now. I don't know what they do." Johnson's comments highlight a grim financial reality for the Cowboys. The contract locks Prescott into the roster until at least 2027, with a potential release before then resulting in over $195 million in dead cap, a figure that would cripple the team's ability to rebuild. After 2027, the dead cap penalty would drop to $17 million, making an exit far more feasible. Dead cap, a mechanism introduced by the NFL in 1994 to protect players with long-term contracts, remains a key consideration for Dallas as they navigate their financial challenges. Looking ahead, the Cowboys are projected to have just $25 million in cap space for the 2025 offseason, placing them among the league's least flexible teams, ranked 23rd in available cap. This limited financial freedom raises questions about how Dallas plans to address their roster deficiencies and return to contention. With major upgrades needed on both sides of the ball, the front office will need to make shrewd decisions to maximize their limited resources. Despite the financial strain and Prescott's uncertain future, it's clear he remains central to the Cowboys' plans for now. However, fans and analysts are left wondering if this commitment will ultimately hinder the team's ability to rebuild effectively. If Dallas fails to turn things around, the 2024 season could mark a tipping point in how the franchise approaches its long-term strategy. For now, the focus shifts to salvaging what remains of the year, starting with a Thanksgiving Day showdown against the Giants, a matchup that might provide some clarity on the Cowboys' ability to finish the season with renewed momentum. As the 2024 NFL season unfolds, speculation is mounting around legendary coach Bill Belichick and his potential return to the sidelines. After parting ways with the New England Patriots last year and spending this season as a TV analyst, Belichick's name has surfaced in connection with several high-profile head coaching vacancies, including the Dallas Cowboys and Las Vegas Raiders. With both franchises underwhelming this season, the possibility of leadership changes has insiders buzzing. Belichick to the Cowboys? The Dallas Cowboys, currently led by Mike McCarthy, are battling through a challenging season. At 4-7, their playoff hopes are fading, and questions about McCarthy's future loom large. Belichick's potential arrival in Dallas is intriguing but complicated. According to ESPN insiders Dan Graziano and Jeremy Fowler, there are both opportunities and obstacles to a Belichick-Cowboys partnership. While Jerry Jones values the historical significance Belichick could bring to a franchise like Dallas, his reputation as a controlling GM might clash with Belichick's desire for organizational authority. Graziano noted, "I don't buy the idea of him in Dallas, where Jerry Jones is and always will be the GM and likes being the face of the franchise." Still, the Cowboys roster is considered not far away from being a championship contender, making the role an enticing challenge for Belichick. Raiders in the mix. The Las Vegas Raiders, under interim head coach Antonio Pierce, are another team reportedly eyeing Belichick. The Raiders' turbulent season has left ownership searching for a stabilizing force, and Belichick's decades of experience could be just what they need. With a roster in transition, the Raiders might be willing to offer Belichick the level of control he prefers, but questions remain about whether his traditional coaching style would resonate with the modern NFL. Other potential destinations. Beyond Dallas and Las Vegas, several other teams could enter the Belichick sweepstakes. The New Orleans Saints, already moving on from Dennis Allen mid-season, are desperate for a turnaround. Similarly, the New York Jets are expected to part ways with Robert Saleh after a disappointing year. Even the Jacksonville Jaguars have been mentioned as a possible fit, given their strong roster and potential for playoff success. However, any team considering Belichick will need to weigh his desire for control against their own organizational culture. Challenges to hiring Belichick. Belichick's resume is undeniably impressive, but his old-school approach has raised concerns about how well he fits in today's NFL. His preference for controlling personnel decisions was reportedly a sticking point for teams last offseason, and it remains unclear if he'll demand similar authority in 2025. While his record and legacy make him a top candidate, some insiders believe younger coaches like Mike Vrabel might have an edge in this year's coaching carousel due to their adaptability. What's next? The coming off-season could mark a pivotal chapter in Belichick's storied career. Whether he chooses to step back onto the field or remain in the analyst's chair, one thing is certain. His next move will have significant ripple effects across the league. For now, teams like the Cowboys, Raiders, and others must decide if they're ready to embrace the challenges and rewards that come with hiring one of the most iconic figures in NFL history. The stakes are high, and the decisions made this offseason could shape the league's landscape for years to come. Fans and analysts alike will be watching closely as the drama unfolds.